Broadcasting from the Washington Hilton in Washington, D.C., Solutions Review is on location at Boomi World 2019. Brought to you by Dell Boomi.
It's Doug Atkinson back here on the floor of the Expo Hall, and we are pleased to be joined by the Chief Customer Success Officer at Boomi, and that's Michelle Wideman. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great that you're here because we've been talking about customers and success, and Boomi has a lot of stories, and they've certainly been sharing them. And we've been talking to customers as well. And so first thing I'd like to talk about is your title, because it's a different title that not every company has.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably because Boomi has made a commitment to that idea of customer success as a major initiative.
Yeah, no, growing up as a SaaS vendor, I think the SaaS industry overall has done a much better job on focusing on the customer first. And here at Boomi, I mean, my key responsibilities are making sure customers are happy and successful. So I really do think I have the best job at the company. So it's pretty fun.
Well, and so you've been at Boomi for a while, and you were on the sales side before, so you know a lot about bringing people to becoming a customer.
Yeah.
How does that differ with what your role is now? Are you working with sales? Or are you working with the implementation folks?
We
partners?
do it all. My joke is I've gone from the dark side to the right side. But no, it's a lot of fun. And how we do things is the success team should really engage early in the sales cycle in a perfect world. So when a customer comes to us and they're doing a workshop, we're going to do a proof of concept, that's when the success team should be in there, because we really are going to be their main point of contact throughout their entire customer journey. So we want to get in early. We want to understand their use cases, what value means to them, and when are they going to be happy with the product, ensure their happiness, make sure their adoption goes well, and then, hopefully they'll expand and become a customer advocate for us.
And so you overlap the sales cycle all the way to the implementation and then retention?
We have a whole handoff process that we do. So typically we're going to get involved in the sales cycle around 30%. We'll see it through to closure. We'll step in and do an onboarding call. So we'll be, the quarterback coordinating, if there's our professional services and team that's involved, if there's a partner involved. And then, once service is in there, they'll run point, and then we'll do a firm handshake from when the PSO implementation is done over to the success team. And then we use a solution called Gainsight to track our customer success. So, if a customer is calling us and saying we have a problem, it's too late. We really want to be more proactive. So we're going to be tracking metrics like how much is the customer using the platform. If their usage drops, we're going to call them and say, hey, did your Boomi admin leave, or is there more training that we can offer you? If a customer opens more than 5 support cases, we're going to reach out to them. If they have a sub 1, or if their cases are open for more than 30 days, we're just trying to provide the best journey possible.
That's interesting, because I've been on the sales side in years past, and I've seen it work a number of different ways. And the usual way is the sales team sells it and kind of throws it over the wall. And there is this disconnect that happens, and the first experience that the customer has is a bit uneasy because they're meeting new people after they've gone through this fairly long sales cycle. And with technologies as complex as a Boomi, there really is a time frame before they become a customer where they're really need a lot of hand-holding, need a lot of advice and counsel.
They do.
And so that overlap concept is got to work very well.
We're hopefully a familiar face at the beginning. We're not going to be running point. I mean, that's really when the salesperson is running key. And then we're always going to work side by side with the salesperson, because the goal is, most people come to Boomi for integration, but we have Hub and we have Flow and we've got API management. So we want to make them happy with their initial purchase. So they're going to buy and expand. So we're going to constantly be re-engaging the sales rep to help expand to the other components of the platform.
Well, so with regard to, you're a perfect person to have in our hot seat right now, because one of the things that we've been asking everybody that we've talked to is some lessons learned advice around what they should think about in terms of pitfalls that they might want to avoid as they're going through considering different types of solutions and implementations for that matter. Should they keep it narrow, try to get to that, what is it, speed to value?
Value, time to value.
Time to value. What would you give for advice with regard to prospects becoming customers, implementations?
Yeah. I think you definitely need to have the right training and services out of the gate. I mean, we really do a good job of saying Boomi is easy to use, and we do make integration easy. But that being said, you definitely need either a good partner in there with you, or you need Boomi professional services with you, or both. I mean, a lot of times our services team will go in and do the initial training and architecture, so the partner that's in there has the blueprint that they can go execute on. And I really think it's important for people to continually learn and do the training, and we offer health checks as part of the success program, because if we're doing our job, you're going to be scaling your use of Boomi. So the architecture that you started off with on day one might not necessarily meet your same needs, 2 or 3 or 4 or 20 years down the road. So we need to constantly be revisiting what you're doing, what your goals and objectives are, and ensure that customers are in sync with knowing where our roadmap's going to go. And we want to know where they're going, so we can constantly, maintain our platform and add the right enhancement requests and really have a journey with them.
And so you've got a lot of customers.
We do 9,000. It's crazy. We're adding roughly 6 a day.
And are all those kind of in your field of view?
In my zone, I do have a lot. Yeah. So the way our success team is set up today is I've got a team that handles our direct customers, and then I have a team that handles our OEM and our service bureau customers as well. And it's actually interesting right now. It's a big topic on the success side, is how do we better support the system integrators and the global system integrators as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of changes in the industry and focus on how we all handle this, going forward.
And so how do you handle? I'm curious, actually. Yeah. How do you handle something as kind of eventful as a moment like this, where you're announcing a lot of changes?
Yeah.
There are new offerings.
Yeah.
How do you bring those to your existing customer base?
We do what's called a customer 360 or a QBR, and during that our goal is, the great thing I like about success is we're not sales. We really want to be your trusted advisor, but on the flip side, it's our responsibility to make sure customers are aware of all the different offerings we have, because we do offer a lot of new just solution offerings and professional services offerings, but we are doing 11 releases a year, and I would probably put a lot of money on it that not everybody's reading the release notes. So in those customer 360s, we do try to take some time out of it to say, hey, just want to make sure you're aware that we're doing X, Y, Z, and this is how we think it's going to help you based on, your business requirements that you've told us from day one.
And not to go completely off field here, but do you think about customers as to where they are? Do you start to create, of buckets of
where they are in the journey?
Yeah, so, these guys are legacy, these guys are, still kind of coming up to speed on the whole platform that we have, and they're only using a few elements.
Absolutely.
Versus, customers that are pure digital and they're really, pushing the envelope.
Yeah, we try to be proactive. I think we could be more proactive. We're in the process of rolling out a formal executive sponsorship program, and I'm trying to get those executive sponsors to make sure they're tagging news media alerts. So if they see something like, Sarah Lee's being divested, that, they would reach out and be like, hey, have you thought about using us for this use case? Because mergers and acquisitions is such a strong point for us. Or we'll use a lot of other apps like Discover.org. So if people are getting alerts saying, XYZ company is rolling out Workday or building a new mobile app, that we would use that proactively as, hey, have you looked at Flow to build out your new mobile app?
So that leads me to my next question, which is, as you think about the next year, and I don't know where the next Boomi World's going to be, but as you think about what's going to happen,
San Francisco. They announced it this morning. Well, somebody was sleeping in the session.
I was there.
I'm
but
just
I missed
kidding.
It.
Mandy saved it for the end. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk to her later. So what are you thinking about for the next year?
It'll be interesting to see how we continue to grow and how quickly we continue to grow. When I first started at Boomi about 5.5 years ago, we were a little under 100 employees, and we hit over 1,000 employees last month. So not only from a company perspective, but the number of customers and obviously the size of Boomi World grows every year we do this. So it's just really cool to see the more and more people that come in this ecosystem to help us, along the journey.
It seems like you should be participating in that kind of cultural transformation, the Boomi cultural transformation as well. I mean,
it's true.
That's a customer success
Yeah, as a manager and a leader within this org, I mean, that's a big concern of ours, is how do we keep the culture, the small family knit culture that it's been, and it's really important to us that are here to maintain that culture.
Well, amazing. Well, a lot of fun.
It is. It's a good place.
I know you've
product.
been a busy person.
Yeah.
But thanks for making some time to come by here and talk to me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
All right, great.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.